Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about writing or updating your resume. A resume is something that you're going to need to have in order to do your job search, get an interview, and it's also something that you'll need to probably use several times over the course of your life. And so it's a great skill to learn now. I like to tell people your resume doesn't get you the job, you get you the job, but your resume is your first impression, sometimes your only impression, and it's what's going to get you an interview and hopefully sitting down and speaking with an employer about a particular position you're interested in. So a resume is a marketing tool, and these days each resume is tailored and linked to the specific position you're applying for. So that's one of the most important things to know about a resume. The cool thing about resumes is there's not a lot of rules, but there are some simple guidelines, and the truth is that going basic is probably the best way to go. Your resume is kind of like a roadmap, and you don't want the person reading it to spend a lot of time decoding that map and figuring out where things are. You just want them to be able to get as much information as quickly as possible from your resume. You need to tell the truth. That's one of the rules in a resume. And the other thing you need to know is that a resume is kind of like real estate. So you want to think of the most valuable real estate is at the top, and so what you put there is most important and what they're going to read first. And hopefully that's going to grab their attention and get and have them continue reading about you and your qualifications and background. So what does a resume look like? A resume looks basically like this. It's got your name and data at the top, and then it kind of goes down from there. There's always conversation about how long your resume should be. If you don't have a lot of experience, or you have maybe a couple of jobs or something like that, you really should try to keep it to 1 page. But there's nothing wrong with going to 2 pages if you need it. Rarely should a resume be more than 2 pages. Even if you have a lot of experience, you want to kind of whittle it down and get it to 2 pages maximum. Resumes look good when they've got some white space around them. If you can make the margins bigger, that's always great. Sometimes you have to make them smaller because you're trying to fit everything onto 1 page. Like I said, the font is the size of the type. You want to be sure that that's readable. You don't want to go smaller than 10 point and probably more like 12 point. You can use bold and italics and underlining to highlight certain things, but don't go crazy with that. Keep it simple. Your resume is really, you want to keep it simple, readable. They say you have 10 to 20 seconds with your resume in front of the person before they decide if they're going to give you a call or call you in for an interview. So you really want it to be as easy as possible for them to read and navigate. It should be neat and professional, and you obviously don't want to have any typographical errors, no spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes. I like to say, let as many people proof it as your ego can handle. So, be sure someone else's eyes get on that and takes a look at it. You can't depend only on spell check. The contact info is an important part of the resume. It's right at the top. It gives them a way to contact you. It has your name, typically your address, your phone number, and your email address. You want to be sure that your email address is something basic and professional. If you have a local address, you should use your local address rather than maybe your home address or a different address. You want everything to be as current as possible. The other thing I like to remind people of is when you're in the process of a job search, make sure that your outgoing message on your voicemail is something appropriate, not a crazy song or something that sounds overly casual, because that's an impression that you're going to be making on an employer. So you want to just kind of check that out.